At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This Jerusalem Post podcast is supported by third-party advertising. Welcome to the J-Post headlines. These are the top stories today for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. The IDF rolls out a new strategy saying all borders must have buffer zones. President Trump will pull the United States out of UNESCO, citing anti-American and anti-Israel leanings. Western powers urge Iraq to act on the drone attacks in northern Kurdistan. The IDF denies the World Health Organization's staff casualties in Gaza. And Israeli Druze rush to donate blood to Syrian relatives after clashes in Sweden. Recorded in the J-Post studios in Jerusalem, I'm your host, Shifra Jacobs. In a groundbreaking strategic shift, the IDF has concluded that all Israeli borders should have designated buffer zones to enhance security. The recent High Command session, led by IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir, revealed a new doctrine. Israel's defense will now primarily be achieved through preemptive offensive actions, rather than just reactive defense. The idea of buffer zones already implemented in Gaza, Syria, and Lebanon is aimed at preventing attacks before they occur. This move represents a significant transformation in Israeli military policy in the wake of the October 7th attacks. US President Donald Trump has decided to withdraw the United States from the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. According to the New York Post, Trump is pulling the US out of the UN body due to its anti-America and anti-Israel leanings and its woke agenda. The decision comes after a 90-day review ordered by Trump earlier this year, which specifically investigated anti-Semitic and anti-Israel sentiments with UNESCO. The move signals a continued distancing by the US from international organizations that Trump perceives as hostile to American and Israeli interests. In additional Middle Eastern news, Western countries are urging Iraq to take decisive action following a series of drone attacks on energy infrastructure in northern Kurdistan. The Kurdistan regional government has accused Iranian-backed militias of carrying out these attacks, which have disrupted vital services and created growing insecurity in the region. Despite the severity of the situation, Iraq's government has been slow to respond. International pressure is mounting for Iraq to investigate and address these drone strikes to prevent further escalation. The IDF has denied reports that the World Health Organization staff in Gaza were killed or injured during Israeli airstrikes on their residence in Deir al-Balah. While the organization claimed its staff residence was attacked multiple times, the IDF confirmed that the evacuation of WHO personnel was coordinated in advance and no casualties were reported among the staff. These claims come amidst IDF casualties that have occurred in the last few days, including Staff Sergeant Amit Cohen and Master Sergeant Vladimir Loza. And in an act of solidarity, Israel's Druze community has organized a blood drive to support their relatives in Syria's Sweda province, where recently clashes have resulted in many casualties. Magen David Adom launched the drive in the Druze majority village of Isfia, where dozens lined up to donate blood. Despite logistical hurdles in transferring the blood to Syria, the community's swift response highlights the deep familial ties across the border. The IDF has been involved in providing further emergency medical assistance to the Druze in Syria affected by recent events. For more on today's stories, check the description of this episode. For the latest news, updates, and analysis, head to jpost.com.